Hello again, this is Craig, and I'm about to show you a few of the tool acquisitions I've made over the past couple of weeks, past 3 or 4 weeks really. I was lucky enough to pick up a whole tub of taps and dies. They were rusty, very rusty. But I've given them a bath in the metal rescue stuff, and I've given them I've wire brushed them on the shank, and I've carefully used a brass brush to clean these so it doesn't damage the threads or damage the teeth. Obviously they need to be stored better than this, but at least they're rust free now. Also included in the price were 3 tap wrenches, which were also very rusty, and now they are clean and they work really well. This one's a Moore and Wright from Sheffield, England. Very nice. This one's got no name brand, but it's nicely made. It's got a really interesting mechanism inside. The clamping piece actually has a little tab on it that rides in this groove so it can't rotate, and all this does is close down on the threads and push this in. I've not seen one like that before, but it works well. I'm really happy about this one. This is a P&N, Australian made, number 7, and I'm particularly happy about that one because it matches my number 5 that I already have. I've been waiting for several weeks now for this set of Er40 Collets that I ordered to go with my milling machine. Currently I don't have any tool holding in there at all that I can use, so this is the full set, and I bought these from CTC, and I bought the spanner. These go from, the smallest one is a 3mm, which will close down to 2, and the largest is a 26, which is that one. You can get oversized ones, but they thin out these pieces too much to get you an extra 3 or 4mm. Not really standard, but could be useful. I haven't got those yet, but I may do. So they're the Collets. Really excited about those. So in theory now I can actually use my machine to take a cut. I'm always going to tip shops and gumtree and garage sales when I can, and I found these pieces recently. These 3 Machinist clamps obviously still need a clean up. But they look like they work nicely. This one's sort of a unique design, I think. Haven't looked for any maker's marks on there yet. That one says Coldstream. That one's made in Australia, Gregory Steel Products. Anyway, I don't have many of these parallel clamps, so having a few extras once I've cleaned them up, they'll go in the stock. They'll be nice to use. I found this Rome chuck, and the jaws on it looked impeccable. This is the German made. Opens up to 10mm. and it's a 3/8 by 24 thread in the back, which I think is UNF or something like that. So I may make an arbor for this to hold in a collet on the mill, or I may get a taper and put a thread on the end so I can use that in the lathe, or I'm not sure yet. A little cold chisel and a couple of punches. One of them's damaged, but I think I can touch that on the grinder and fix that up. And this is a Moore and Wright cast iron combination square fence, and that was £5.50 at the tip shop. So that's that little haul. Two or 3 weeks ago, when I was making my when I was boring out the pulley for the milling machine, I lost one of my telescoping gauges. I'm pretty certain now that I threw it in the bin along with armfuls of swarf, and that's kind of embarrassing. But I think it was that size, and it's one of the really commonly used sizes. I don't know what the range is. But anyway, these are the replacements. I just ordered these because I thought I'll have a nice set, and they are really nice. They've got this nice satin finish, which I really like. Anyway, now I've got the set. I've got a box to put them in now. Not the cheap Chinese ones. These should be a bit more reliable, and I'll try not to throw them away. Next new item in the shop is not really a new tool, it's a project that I've got coming up. It's a couple of bronze lead nuts and Acme screw threads that are for the local makerspace here in Hobart. Building a Lolsbot TAS 6 printer, and there are some features on the end here, some shoulders and some flats, to allow them to couple these screws to the stepper motors and to sit inside some support bearings, and just give some radial support. And so there's no lathe at the makerspace, so I'm gonna do this on my lathe here. So I might make a video about that if it's interesting enough. And then two bigger things that aren't on the desk. This is an arbor press. This is a 2-ton arbor press, and I got this pretty cheaply. Bought it locally from a guy through Gumtree, and it's good. It's there's no cracks in the castings or anything. It was used with this small plate here. This small plate's got a shoulder, a little rebated area, and it was used for joggling, which is when you create a step in sheet metal for welding in patches and things. And the guy had used it only for joggling the edges of things. So he took the daisy wheel off, or the anvil, or whatever you call it, and replaced it with this, but he'd lost the daisy wheel. That's fine, I can probably make another one. The other problem with it was, I think this happened when I was moving it, the screw that went into here to lock the handle in place was just made out of cheap cheese grade material, and I tried straightening it up in the vise and it just snapped straight off. Turns out it's a standard M10 thread, and I've got some high tensile M10 threaded rod. So what I'll do is I'll make up a little T-handle or something just to lock that in. And the other item, final item, is This is a new bandsaw with a swiveling head, and I bought this from a friend who was upgrading to a bigger bandsaw, one with hydraulic feeds and all that kind of thing. This bandsaw is the next size up from mine, and it has the swiveling head and it has a better dust catcher. It's got a few mods on it as well to the fence and things that are handy, and it has a much bigger and more sturdy base, and it's taller. So pretty much everything about it makes it better than the one I've got. So I'll sell the one I've got, and I got this for a very good price, so I'm pretty happy. Well, I think that's about everything, so I'll see you in the next video.